What's going on, guys? I am SimpleSimon. I'm your comic book noob. Welcome to the NOOB Rebirth. I am back at Big City Comics once again with my boy Mark.
Boy.
Sorry, my old man Mark.
Old man Mark.
Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
On the last episode, we spoke about something we haven't spoken about before, which is sport. So I thought today we'd speak about something we haven't spoken about, which is very dear to our hearts, which is music.
Music, and he's gonna have trouble editing this one.
Yeah, because it might go on forever. So Mark might not say much in this episode, but if you guys want the full version, hit me up and I'll give the extended. I'll have the Snyder Cut version of this as well. So anyway, let's do this. Apart from being a Harry Potter guy,
Don't diss the t-shirts.
I'm not just in the t-shirt, I'm just saying you're a Harry Potter guy. I'm a Harry Potter guy too
I'm
now.
just a pop culture guy. I like Harry Potter, but I'm just a pop culture guy. But we're not here to talk about pop culture.
We're not, we're here to talk about music.
Music.
I don't know, all hardcore fans of this show might know that Mark used to be a DJ.
Yeah, I used to be a DJ.
What was your DJ name?
Mark C.
Okay.
It's pretty boring.
I guess back then, was it popular for people to come up with their own names, or were most people using...
I didn't put in I didn't want to... I was a DJ for parties and weddings and stuff like that. And then when I did nightclubs and bars, I did that. I didn't look at that as a career. I just did that sort of like to have extra
income?
cash. Yeah.
Because DJs get paid. Right?
Yeah, I had that. I just did that as extra sort of cash, extra money. I would do my gig at like a wedding, would go from 5 till 12 midnight, and then after that I would go to a nightclub and do a night shift.
But DJing is like a proper job, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I played in a band and we made scrap, mate. There was a time. Remember Revolver?
Of course.
So we played a gig at Revolver in our early days, right? And back in the day, if you played in a band, you had to pay the mixers and stuff like that sometimes,
absolutely.
Right? So there was one time where we paid the mixer, I think like $25, per band. And then at the end of the night, the band who organised it said, "Oh, here's your pay from the door," and it was like $23 or something like that. So it's like we paid to play. They were the hardcore days.
Yeah, there was, and that's the perseverance you have to take, Yeah. I love being a DJ, and I love the music most of all. That's what attracted me to being a DJ. Was I love all types of music, and I learnt a lot about music too. Because not only did I play, dance music and popular music, I played old music, new music. I played all different types of age groups. I played with bands, so I'd play with a band. So a band would be playing, the band would have a break. And then I would go on. So I learnt about, and I'm talking about all different kinds of bands.
You would have to cater for the venue or the night, like for example.
Yes, that's what kind of DJ I was.
You'd have like a night where it was all dance music because it's a club where they have dance music.
Correct.
And then you have a night where it's maybe at a pub where you just play like, rock classics and things like that.
Not really, it depends. If I'm in a pub and I'm playing with a band, then I would play the complete opposite of what the band was playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the band plays that stuff. Whereas I would play the popular stuff, the pop music that the band doesn't play. I was never the type of DJ where I would walk into a nightclub and they would say, "Play whatever you want." They're hiring me for my music or for my taste in music. No, I would play for the crowd. I would play to get people on the dance floor. And that's what kind of DJ I was. I was a commercial DJ. So, which I didn't mind. Like I said, I didn't treat that as a career. I just treated it as a job. The career side of it was, at one stage I had a company where I had multiple DJs working for me with equipment as well. So
you were running it? You were running it?
I was, yes.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't hire out the equipment, but I would, if a DJ was working for me and I gave him a gig, I would give him the equipment with it. And I'd go set up for him and everything. That was the career side of it. It was good for a while, and I just got over it.
And so when you were DJing, because obviously this is obviously a long time ago.
Yeah.
This isn't like nowadays where you just show up with your MacBook with a playlist and press play.
Absolutely.
You had what? Like, did you use?
I started off with vinyl.
And you use a thing to crossfade like one song into another and things
of course, mixer. Yeah.
I mean, did you ever do any of this?
Scratching?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But they still use they still use a mixer now, even with a laptop
Okay, yeah.
or with a USB stick.
Yeah.
They still use a mixer. They still need a mixer.
Okay.
Right?
Sorry, I just was
No, that's all right.
I feel like I'm dissing the art there.
You're not, but it's just modern. You know, if you use a memory stick with music on it, you know, two of them that you can go back and forth with, or a laptop, you still need a mixer that an amplifier or a powered speaker needs to plug into. You know, it's called a preamp. I started learning how to DJ when I was 23.
Okay.
22, 23, which is pretty old to learn as a DJ. Most people start at 16, 17, but I started in vinyl, and then I went into CD.
Was that like a whole new world?
No, not really, because back then they would produce it on vinyl and on CD single. You know, so you would be able to get the same stuff that you would get on a CD single that you would get on a vinyl. It's just that the CD was cheaper and it was easier to carry.
How does one become like a famous DJ? Like you got famous DJs, right? Like
Most of them.
how does that come about?
Most of them produce their own music.
And is that like
or-
taking
or-
samples from other music, that type of
No,
thing?
no. Well, it depends how you want to make your music, electronic
Because I've
music.
never understood that side. Because when I came up and I was obviously into my punk rock and stuff like that, and I was in a band, I was very much a music snob. So, and I wouldn't say like I think there was definitely a window when I was very young, and I was like, oh, you know, that dance music sucks or whatever. I quickly grew out of that once I started performing, because I realized I would be playing with all these bands, and especially in the beginning, you play with different genres, and you start to just respect the fact that they will get up there and play, no matter how few people are there, how many people are there, and things like that. But I never understood that side of music that wasn't in my little niche that I was into.
Look, DJs, like, you know, one of my DJs that I looked up to, and I looked at his career a long time, for a long time while I was a DJ, was a DJ called John Course. He never started off playing his own stuff, the stuff that he produced, but he was, you know, just a DJ at a nightclub, but got bigger and bigger. You know, people would hire him to play his style of music, whatever that may have been.
Yeah,
House
so-
music, dance music, and the reason that is because he got the music that no one else had.
Yeah.
He would go to England. He would go to do all these gigs, you know, and got a name for himself, and that's what you call a career.
So would you have things like, you would have say a pop song, but then you would be able to add some sort of background thing to it?
If I wanted to,
Like
yeah.
make your own mix?
I used to do that, call it DJ friendly. Some songs would come out like a 12-inch, so it's made for a DJ, so it's got an extra long intro and an extra long outro. So it'll be DJ friendly. But some songs didn't. At the time, we all had editing software where we could loop an intro and loop an outro and then make it longer and then make it DJ friendly. Not all songs had that, so you have to put that in. It's much more easier now, obviously. These days, they're probably looking at, you know, saying, oh, that's an old way of doing it. You can do it more efficient way, and that's fair enough. And if I was DJing now, I'd be doing that efficient way as well. Absolutely.
Before you became a DJ, what music were you into?
80s rock.
80s rock. Back when Mark had boom hair.
Oh my God, you're gonna put hair on me now. You know, Def Leppard and Alice Cooper,
Poison, Motley
Crue,
So
White Snake,
I grew up on a lot of that stuff because all my
Van
brothers,
Halen.
all my brothers were into that stuff. Like, and they're all like obviously a lot older than me, like 10 plus years older than me. So when I was a little kid, I saw my brothers with their big mullet hairs and all their rock band posters, and I thought they were like the coolest dudes like ever. So that's why as I got a little bit older, I started listening to that music, but then I always want to find my own thing too, and I guess punk rock was that thing to me, my own thing that I found. It's interesting just to go from like being an 80s rock fan and then wanting to become a DJ, because when you think DJ, you kind of think dance club music, right?
Yeah, but I played everything, man. I played, like I said, I used to do weddings, engagements, birthday parties. I did everything. Like I said, I love doing it. But you know, nowadays, I listen to everything. People used to say, oh, it depends what mood I'm in. That's what song I listen to. But I like to think of it like whatever mood I want to be in. So that's how I look at it.
Was there a most memorable gig that you played?
Twister at St Kilda,
Oh yeah, I have
the
friends
main
who-
stage.
That was at the
Palace.
That burnt down, that one, yeah?
Yeah.
I never went there. I had friends who were into it, but
Yeah, so after the Cat House closed down on a Saturday night, Twister at the Palace used to be in the back room on a Friday night. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was one of my longest running gigs. probably about 12 years I was there. And the other memorable one was Mercury Lounge at the Crown.
I wasn't a clubber person, but I remember in the Mercury Lounge, if I was ever at the Crown, you would just see like the rich, beautiful people would go to Mercury Lounge.
They were good days, they were good times. I made a lot of good friends at the Mercury Lounge. Same as Twister, I made a lot of good friends there, and I'm still friends with. Absolutely.
My biggest show that I ever played was, remember the Hi-Fi bar?
Yeah, of course, it's still around.
So, so it's called Max Watts now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's called Max Watts or something like that. It's not as cool. Hi-Fi bar is way cooler name. Big venue, right? So we supported the Exploited, who are like a huge UK punk band, and it was a full house. The coolest thing was, I think we opened, but a lot of the, obviously, scene who come see our local shows, they were there. It was a packed house, and we had our local scene there supporting us, yelling out all the words. So for people who'd never seen us, they were like, oh, these guys are someone, you know? And then they had people coming up and oh, you guys are awesome. But, you know, that's a good feeling. But I guess the thing I want to wrap up with was, a lot of people ask me now, you know, are you starting anything new, any new music, And I have tried in the last few years, but it's one of those things now where I think about it and it's like, I've kind of passed that point in my life. Like, back when I was in the band, it was everything. I wanted to be like a rock star, you know? And I knew I could only make, in that genre, you could only make it so far, but I wanted music to be like a career in a sense. And now I've kind of definitely moved beyond that point where it's like I'm happy with what I did. I would love to be able to get this band going that I've been trying to for a few years, just to play one time to show that I could still do it and maybe have a recording, because recordings live on forever. But I definitely feel like I've moved on from that side of my life, as you were just saying. So I was gonna ask you, but you've obviously already answered it, like, do you miss it?
I miss the music. But I can get that music anyway. I play it here at the store sometimes.
DJ Mark happens live at Big City Comics every week.
Just so I'm going to ask you a random question, or not random question, but unexpected question.
Uh-oh.
3 favourite albums. Go.
You probably wouldn't have heard of any of them though.
Doesn't matter. People can look them up. Come on, quick man. You're gonna do. Hurry up, man. You gotta.
Well, one of them is.
Open up, mate. Hurry up.
One of them is Blood for Blood, Outlaw Anthems. That's definitely one, but it's like a Boston hardcore band. One of my favorite punk bands was The Unseen, and my favorite album is probably it's the one where they kind of went mainstream, which a lot of people probably jumped off their train. But I really liked State of Discontent. So again, bands you probably haven't heard of. And the third one, I'm just gonna go with Raised Fist, who are a Swedish hardcore band. And to be honest, I can't remember the name of the album that I like the most. What about you, Mark? Top three?
Top three, no in particular order. Audio Slave, self-titled, their first album, unbelievable. Hysteria, the Def Leppard.
Okay, I've got that on vinyl.
Yeah, and the last one would have to be 1984 by Whitesnake.
You know what? I liked all those bands. Whitesnake were too ballady for me. Like, I like bands that were a little bit more on the rock side, but then they would have a ballad. Whitesnake was just all ballad.
Yeah, so. See, whereas, you know, that's a favourite album, but, you know, my favourite catalogue would have to be Motley Crue. Yeah, Motley Crue probably had the best catalogue of albums. I've got them all.
Alright guys, that's all we have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. You know, a bit of a look back at our past lives before we were massive...
Music, man. Like, the music rocks, man. It's so good.
We didn't actually even touch on too much music, really. We just talked about our music.
Oh, we could, mate, we touch on music. We'd be here forever.
Do you have a vinyl collection?
I do have a vinyl collection,
maybe
absolutely.
We should do a stream one day where we share each other's vinyl collection. Because I got a lot of that 80s rock stuff too in my collection.
Oh, do you remember those, you know, summer 95, you know, the summer hot days in 85?
As in like the
compilations.
Yeah,
do you remember those? Yeah. I got a whole heap of those, man. Like my father used to buy them for us as kids. I've got a whole heap of those.
I never liked buying those because I didn't like I liked listening to the compilations. I didn't like owning it.
Good.
I didn't like owning them in the collection.
They're so good. Oh man. Oh yeah. Anyway, so you see, we can be here forever.
Yeah. That's what we do here. This is what this show is about. We're basically just talking what we talk about in the shop anyway. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the way out. Leave us a comment. Let us know what music you're into. Maybe list your top 3 albums of all time. It's a hard question. You can't just do it like that, Mark. I need time to think.
Can't do a spare at the moment. Back at you, mate.
I'm SimpleSimon, I can't think quick. Until next time, say bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
And keep it simple.
Rock and roll, rock music is shit these days. It's shit.
Yeah.
It's all soft, mate. Soft. Whereas before it's all hard and, you know, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Now it's all about your feelings, you know.